Good to get back on the practice field today. Obviously we haven't got the results to this point that we want, but I do believe that that will come. And the reason I'm confident in that is really the change that I've seen within our locker room. Sometimes you have to go through adversity to really kind of get to the point where change takes place, and guys have to kind of make a decision which side of the line that they're going to be on. And I think one of the biggest goals for this season for myself and our staff, especially since we didn't get spring practice and we didn't get to be around our guys a lot during the spring and summer, was to clearly establish the standards, clearly establish the foundation and the culture that is going to be expected. And that's really what gives me a lot of hope and optimism. Is I just feel like our guys have been very resilient. I think if you watch the way our guys played for 3.5 quarters last week, it looked more like a 5-1 team than a 1-5 team. And I haven't been here in the past, but just from other people, I think I'm seeing progress. And I think it's obviously frustrating for coaches and players because we want to see the progress on the scoreboard with the wins at the same time that you're making progress in the locker room. But that's not always the case. And right now we're making a lot more progress off the field in our locker room within our team than we maybe are on the scoreboard. But I do believe that it will come. And when you go through a season like we're going through right now, it gives you a lot of opportunities to teach and to learn and to understand the expectations and how we're going to do things. And I feel like our guys have responded very well considering the adversity that we've been through, and look for a strong finish. I don't expect our guys to change now, and that's really what I've kind of challenged them on is they've really shown up just about every week with the right attitude, shown up to practice no matter the good or bad from the week before. And here as we kind of finish up our last few games of the season, that's my expectation, is to continue to see us to improve and hopefully find a way to win a couple of these games. So yesterday was really all about putting the last game to bed and learning from it. There were some critical things that as coaches and players we need to learn so that when we get in that situation we'll respond and have a different end result. But today and moving forward, it's all about getting ready to go play a good Houston team at Houston, and felt like we got off to a good start today with our practice. So with that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Yeah, what has to happen for this team to be able to close out games with the game?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things. As far as what we can control right now is we need to play better in those situations. I just felt like we got out-executed the last 3 drives of the game. The defensive drive and then the offensive drive, we had an opportunity to put the game away if we get a first down, and then the defensive drive. So, I really felt like it definitely was not a perfect game by any means, but I felt like up until that point, not just because of where the score was, but I really felt that we were in position to play our best game of the year, and we just did not execute when it really mattered those last 3 drives. As far as the coaching piece of it, we got to be in a better position, and I think there's some things as coaches that we could do differently in that situation, and then the players got to execute the call and make the plays. And then the other side is you got to give them credit too. I mean, I've played some good quarterbacks. Those last 2 drives by their quarterback, those 2 back shoulder throws, one on our sideline and one over there, that's as good as anywhere you'll see in the country. So we got to play better, and you also got to tip your hat to that quarterback. We were in a position we were going to make them have to make all of the plays, and unfortunately they did. So that's the first piece. The second piece is we got to improve our depth in the offseason. I mean, it's not an excuse, it's reality. We had 3 corners and 3 safeties going into the game. So that last drive, those were plays 82 through 90. And normally when you have more depth, then you have, guys can roll and you're a little bit fresher. And maybe it's the difference of those plays that you're just a half a second late. So that's part of it too, but that's not anything we can control right now. But that's definitely something in the off season. I really feel like, whatever we're at right now and count everybody out, we're somewhere around 80 guys. all of a sudden you show up next year and you're back at 115. Like that's 35 guy difference. I mean, I'm even out again today. I'm walking around looking during flex. I mean, it is very, very tight. So all we can do is control what we can control, and ask the guys to improve and work on what they can work on, and then it is what it is. As far as your depth, you can't really change that in the middle of the season right here.
Jeff, any personnel updates, Johnny or anybody else for the Houston game?
No, I don't really think we got anybody back this week, and not sure if we will for the next couple of weeks. Unfortunately, we lost a lot of those guys the day before going to Memphis, so they'll probably be out for a good while.
Can you kind of speak to Spencer Schrader's performance and what that meant?
Yeah, and it really was not. This is how it happened. Just throwing it all out there. Spencer has kicked the deep ball really well in practice, and I've been really pleased with what Jared Sackett's done up to this point. And so we went into this game saying that any field goal 45 yards or longer, we're going to let Spencer kick, and any field goal 44 yards or shorter, we're going to let Jared kick. And it just so happened that the first two kicks were over 45 yards, and he drilled both of them. And then at that point, like, okay, we're going to stay with the hot leg, I guess you'd say, in this situation. And he made the next two. But what I was proud about is it's the first time since I've been here that he has transitioned how he has kicked in practice to the game. And I believe 100% when I say that he's the best practice kicker I've ever been around. I mean, if you were to come out and watch us in practice, I mean, he's drilling them 55 yards right through the pipe. And then, just up until this past week, he has not translated that to the game for whatever reason and had success. So I think when you can go out there and, ultimately, if we play better on offense and defense there at the end, then those kicks are the deciding factor in the win, right? And so hopefully the confidence that he gained from that will help him moving forward the rest of this year and into the next year, because if he can go out and be able to transition from practice to the game, he'll be one of the best kickers that have ever kicked here. But I'm really pleased to see that. Hopefully he'll build off that confidence.
Jeff, speaking of confidence, Brian Petit probably has plenty of it right now. Good to see him have a nice game.
Yep.
Charlie, I've been, praising him the last few weeks.
Yeah, he's a freshman that we've been really pleased with what we've seen, and with Johnny being out, with Darian Felix being out, and also Jaquez Evans was out, so it finally kind of got his opportunity. And so one of the big messages that we've given to these freshmen that are kind of waiting their turn is, are you preparing so that when you get your opportunity, you're ready? Because then when you do, then you're going to have an opportunity to get a lot more opportunity and reps. And I would definitely say he was prepared, and he did a great job. He was one of our players of the game on offense, and I'm really excited about the future with several of those freshmen. But he was one that really got an opportunity to show his teammates and everybody what he can do, and he's only going to get better. And the other thing I like about him is he's a low maintenance guy. I mean, that's really what I'm used to coming from the place that I came from, is talented guys that are low maintenance, and we need more of those. We have a little bit of the other sometime that have to kind of decide which way we're going to go with that. But I want as many of those guys that are talented players, do what you ask them to do, and show up every single day. And we have a good number of those, but he's definitely one of those guys that I'm very pleased with and excited to watch him the rest of this year and in the next few years.
Noah did a good job with the offense, especially in that first half. Looking back at the tape, what did you think of how he did in his first full game? Really?
Yeah, I thought he managed the game well with what we asked him to do. I think he was 20 of 29, which was one of the best outings we've had of the year. And the number one thing that I'm proud about is he held on to the ball. I think in the Tulsa game he had some really nice drives and led the offense down, but he had that critical turnover right before halftime that was really a backbreaker for us going in at half. So that was the biggest thing, was his ball security, running the ball, and then also making the right decisions throwing the ball. And I felt like he did a really good job. The one play, you can go back in a close game like that to several plays, but the one play that he threw to Weaver that was just kind of maybe a foot over Weaver's, that I think that would have put the game away. That would have made it a 17-point game with about 9 minutes to go, and it's just a difference of about a foot right there. But I've been pleased. Noah's a guy that since the day he got here, he's been one of our leaders. He's got positive energy all the time. The guys rally around him, and I want as many of those guys in our locker room and on the field as we possibly can have. And so those are the guys that really start to stand out, right? When you're going through a year like this, it's kind of those leaders that have positive attitudes, positive mindset, championship mindset. They kind of rise to the top, and some of the other guys kind of work their way down. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now as we finish the season.
Would you like to see the wideouts get more downfield? I mean, you had the big gainer with Kelly coming out of the backfield. But the wideouts of the group still at 7, 8 yard average per catch.
Right. Yeah, we definitely would. I think we had one nice one to St. Felix down the side, and then we missed Weaver on one. But we definitely, that's an area that we got to improve, and it really goes three parts to that, right? It starts with protection, right? To be able to make the throws downfield. Sometimes we may have a guy open, but we let a guy loose, and now we got to scramble. We never get a chance to throw it. Then the next thing is the throw, and then the final thing is the wideout being where he's supposed to be. And you got to be 3 for 3, right, to get that. And what you see when you watch videos, a lot of times we're 2 for 3, and so we're just always off one place right there. And so that's a part that we all have to improve. But there's no doubt we've challenged the wideouts. I think what you're going to see is guys like Xavier Weaver, freshmen like Sincere Brown, obviously Amarian Dollison's been a guy. I think those are some guys that have really shown a lot of promise here in practice. That I think will be guys that will get opportunities moving forward.
Jeff, you talk about here in year one, it's about culture establishment, doing the right things, part of the process, and that. But here in the last couple of weeks of the season, is there a little bit of added pressure to maybe get a win that way? Culture establishment's well and good.
Yeah.
But, is there added pressure to get a win that way? It's not just all red losses heading into the offseason.
I mean, I think as coaches and players, we always put that pressure on ourselves to be able to do it. There's no doubt. I mean, the thing that I'm disappointed in, not just the win, but it's for our players not to be able to see a positive result from the way that they battled and continue to show up. And that's what made that game Saturday hurt even more than maybe some of the others, is because our guys did lay it all out on the line, and we just came up a little bit short. And sometimes when you truly invest everything into it and you come up short, then it really hurts. It stings, as opposed to sometimes where the guys aren't engaged, they're not giving great effort, and it just kind of from the beginning wasn't a great effort. So, I really want that more than for me as a coach or our staff. I want it for our players to be able to see the reward for the way that they've worked and continue to battle in a difficult time. But, that's every week we're going into it with that mindset.
Because the other night stung so bad, did you have to kind of go out of your way to say to the guys, stick with it, guys?
There's no doubt. That's kind of unfortunately that's been our routine after the game and Monday morning, and then the guys come out Tuesday, have a good practice, and by Friday night we feel like we're undefeated when we take the field on Saturday morning, ready to go play. And so far that's been the way that it's been, and that's an uncommon response in my opinion from a normal team that's won one game or whatever. And my goal is for that to continue and us to be able to finish a couple of these games here at the end.
Coach, your impressions of Houston? I know Coach Holgerson is trying to put his stamp on that program.
Yeah. Explosive, big, fast, strong, explosive, dynamic. Again, I'll say it every week, I'm just impressed with the personnel that we go up against every single week. I know they haven't had the success that they wanted in a few of the games, but when you turn on the tape, their team speed is impressive. It really stands out. So we're going to have to do a good job and play a very clean game.
Speaking of clean, you only had 3 or 4 penalties against them.
Yeah. Yes. So that was another positive. We won the turnover margin. We won the penalties. And then, went 4 for 4 on field goals. We did a lot of those things really well. And I think one mistake you can make as a coach is to just look at the end result and just tell the guys, hey, we're awful, we're not any good, y'all guys got to get it fixed. And then at the end of the day, it's about the win, right? You either win or you lose. But where we are with a new staff, a new team, and all that, it's about finding some progress to build off of for the future. And there was a lot of good in that game. The unfortunate part is all the good came in the first 3.5 quarters, and the game's a 4-quarter game for a reason. So that's ultimately why we didn't get the result we wanted.